In this video, we're going to be unpacking how to really trust in the unseen when you are faced with unwanted 3D circumstances. Stay tuned.
Hey lovelies, welcome back to the Manifestation Sisters community. My name is Leah.
My name's Tia.
Here on this channel we are helping you to master your mind and manifest all of your desires. Before we jump into the video, we want to let you know that we have digital products available and we also do offer one-on-one coaching. If you're feeling called to work with myself or Tia, the link is in the description box down below, so let's jump in.
We've had clients and a recurring theme this week of people really in our community struggling with trusting in the unseen. When there's unwanted circumstances, when they're feeling triggered by their 3D, when the opposite is manifesting, they know what it is that they're needing to do consciously, but when it comes to applying that and having the actual conscious application of trusting in the unseen, they draw a blank. And this is one coming from the place of what it truly means to trust in the unseen, but also not knowing how to do it. So we're going to truly unpack what it means to trust in the unseen when you are struggling with your current 3D circumstances. So I think it's first establishing for you guys what actually is trusting in the unseen. Essentially, the most simplest way that I can put this, to live by faith in that which we cannot see. Neville Goddard, to trust in the unseen until the unseen becomes seen. What does that mean? It essentially means that you have an inner conviction. Everyone has an imagination of when you're in the mix of a 3D circumstance, you can draw your awareness, your focus, and your attention to the internal reality that you want to experience. That is your unseen. Everything in our 3D reality was once imagined. Everything that is a physical manifestation has come from your imagination. So when you're in a 3D circumstance, to truly trust in the unseen comes through faith. It comes with the inner conviction to stay loyal to your end goal, to your wish fulfilled, despite the 3D circumstances and what might be happening around you.
Yeah, because when we're really staying faithful and loyal to that end, that's really us trusting in the unseen. Because I know sometimes when the 3D is showing us the opposite, or we're feeling separation from our SP or separation from everything in our reality, but there is no separation. There is only you. You are the creator of your reality, and to trust in the unseen also means to remind yourself that you are the creator. And you are creating everything, and you've always been creating everything. And despite what's going on in the 3D reality, if you stay loyal to that end, that unseen reality, because the seen reality is already created in imagination, right? So as you persist in that, as you keep dwelling in what it is that you do want, that will get pushed out. And I know when we're interacting with SP, or you know, they're not physically showing up in our reality, we can get very disheartened. And we try to make the 3D our truth, but it's not. It's an old creation at the end of the day. So we just stay faithful, we stay loyal to what it is we truly want, and it must be experienced, because that's how powerful we are. We are creating everything in our reality, and nothing is outside of us. So you have to remind yourself there is no separation. I'm creating everything internally, and that's going to get pushed out. That's going to become my 3D experience, because we want everything now. We're so used to, you know, instant gratification. We can order something from Amazon and it literally comes the same day or next day, but what it is, we are creating it internally first, and then it's going to get pushed out. So manifestation, like we said in previous videos, is actually instant. It's instant in our imagination. We just have to trust and have that faith to know that as we persist in our end story of us having what it is that we want, it will be experienced.
So the missing link there, how you stay trusting in your unseen, is by having faith, being loyal to your end goal. And for me, if I look at what faith really means, it's I am faithful in my wish fulfilled. Internally, I have the awareness of returning my perceptions, my assumptions, my thoughts, my feeling state back into that which I want. So for a lot of people, when it comes to being faithful to your wish fulfilled, you get disheartened, you get distracted, your assumptions, your perceptions, your beliefs, your awareness shifts into the now moment rather than returning it back into that which you want to experience. That's the difference. You get disheartened, you get dissatisfied, you get emotionally triggered, and your faith, your loyalty to the end state dissolves. Essentially, your main focus, and you forget about that which you want and you put it on the back burner. When we're trusting in the unseen, there's got to be a conscious awareness, like we always say, of who I am being. You have to internally return your inner knowingness back into the wish fulfilled. And that is a practice, that is a decision, and that is a choice that comes with you deciding that which you want and then returning back to that knowingness and that decision consciously as often as you can.
Yeah, because the thing is with having faith, is having faith in the fact that, and trusting yourself as a creator, like I've mentioned, and really showing yourself and telling yourself these things. No, I do create my reality. Everything in my reality is me pushed down. It's all happening from me and through me, and that's what I'm experiencing. So where in my life can I remind myself the fact that I am always creating my reality? What things have I manifested consciously that I can write down, or even unconsciously? And I've had my clients do this where I get them to write a list of all the things that they've manifested, whether this was before they knew consciously about the law of assumption and, you know, up until this point, because it really starts to build your faith as well, because we're always manifesting 24/7. And there's things that in my life, before I knew this stuff, I would manifest cars. I've manifested like 3 different people giving me cars before I was even conscious of being a manifester. And you know, even my car that I've manifested now, that's the car I manifested consciously, but before that, like I said, I've unconsciously manifested 3 cars. So these cars were given to me. So there's so many instances in your life where these things have happened, or you know, things that happened with the SP that were unconscious, but now you're conscious of it, now you're consciously doing it. There's so many instances that you can prove the faith of the law to yourself, whether you are conscious or unconscious of it. So you've just got to remind yourself of these things, like I am the creator, you know, I'm the god of my reality, everything is happening from me, I'm source. Like, and just keep reminding yourself of that constantly when you think of looking at the 3D for validation, because things can shift and change as you keep reminding yourself and staying loyal to your end, knowing that it's gonna catch up. And sometimes people, you know, they want to give up because they don't truly believe themselves to be the creator.
Exactly. Neville Goddard says it perfectly. He even has a whole book about it. Your faith is your fortune. Essentially, you returning back to that end state, you knowing you're the operate power, is you being loyal to your end goal. That's what essentially dissolves the separation between you and the unseen. Because as you keep persisting, as you keep being loyal to end goal, as you keep practicing the inner faith and conviction of who you are and what you're accepting as your truth, despite 3D circumstances, the 3D starts to dissolve because your awareness and your attention isn't on it, and the separation between you and the unseen starts to dissolve. And before you know it, you've transported yourself into the reality where you're experiencing that which you want, because your attention, your focus, your persistence, your awareness, your perceptions have all shifted. And that's what it truly means to live in the end, but also trust in the unseen. They go hand in hand. You are living in the end, you're essentially trusting in the unseen, because you've returned back to that end state and there is no separation.
Because creation is already finished.
It's done, it's instant, it's finished. And it's reminding yourself of that. You are the operate power. And when you're having these 3D circumstances that are making you forget who you are, return back to your I amness. Return back to your power. What is the truth you're choosing? What is the perceptions you're holding? What state are you currently in? Who are you being in that moment? That's the awareness and the practice and the choice that you have to have with yourself to essentially get out of the permeating cycle of this is my 3D, this is what I don't want. And when you do that, you're practicing being in that moment the version of you that has what it is you want, and there's no separation between you and the unseen, because you've given yourself everything that you wanted externally, internally already.
Exactly. So we're going to end the video here. We just want to thank everyone for liking, comment, sharing and subscribing. It really means a lot to us for our channel to be growing, and we love you all. So like I said at the start of the video, if you want to work with myself or Tia, or want any of our digital products, the link is in the description box down below. We'll see you in the next video.